Now it's time for our adults and teens. I am so excited to go over your songs this week. We had a lot of fun learning them on Saturday, didn't we? Yeah, we had a lot of interesting stuff going on. So, the songs that we had for this week, adults and teens, we learned about slurs and legato playing, right? You remember when I pulled out that green ribbon and I talked about a long musical phrase or sentence needing to be as smooth as possible? Yeah. It's important to be able to communicate that because having the different types of articulation in our music helps convey the message that the composer was trying to send, right? Yeah, so playing notes separately sounds totally different than playing them nice and smoothly. And we're going to get to explore that in our songs for this week. So the first song we had was on page 42, okay? 42. The song was called What Can I Share? Okay, so go ahead and open your books to page 42. All right. Now this song here is in 3/4 time, so we're going to be counting 3 beats a measure. We also have for the first 2 lines, the left hand is going to be the melodic line, and the right hand has our harmonic chords, our C major chord and our G7 chord. But then look what happens in line 3. Line 3 and 4, they switch it, right? So the right hand is going to be the one playing the melody with the left hand playing our harmonic chords. Okay? Let's see if we can play it through together nice and slowly, okay? All right, so we're in our C position. Right hand thumb on middle C, left hand thumb on G below middle C. Okay? This song begins with our left hand, finger 3 on E. And it plays legato all the way to measure 2. And that's when our right hand chord comes in, okay? Let's give it a try. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Down to C, D, E, down to C, D, C. Now let's switch. Right hand has the melody. Down to C, D, G7, E, C chord, E, F, G, C, C chord, D with the G7, back to C. Yeah. So what did you think? Which one was more difficult, the melody in the left hand or the melody in the right hand? Yeah, I actually thought that the melody in the left hand was trickier. I'm not quite used to having melody lines live in the left hand, and that's pretty common in some music. You know, a lot of times I just have the right hand since it's in the treble clef, carrying the melody with the left hand being the extra stuff, right? But when they switched it at the beginning of this piece, that's what made it a little bit tricky. I'm going to say that we can probably drill 3 times through the second line, okay? The second line here explores it explores both of the chords that we had learned, the C major chord and the G7 chord, but it's in the right hand. And then the melody reading on the bass staff, the notes in the left hand, okay? So let's drill that line. We're going to start here on the second line of What Can I Share on page 42. It's going to begin on a left hand E, which is your 3, okay? So let's play through it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Down to C, up to D, back to C. So there's my first time through. I did fairly well. I think I had a little bit of confusion there in the left hand, but let's see if we can iron that out, okay? Let's try it once more. C position. I will count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. There you go, that's my second time through. Not bad. A little bit more predictable, which was a good thing, okay? Now, let's see if we can continue that one more time through, okay? 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Up to D, C. Hey, that was pretty good. So we ended up going through all of line 2 with the melodic line in the left hand being the star, right? All right, so there you go. That was What Can I Share? I think in order for us to feel even better about it, let's see if we can play the whole thing through now once more, okay? Let's try it. Okay, starting here in C position, we have our left hand beginning with the melodic line starting on an E, finger 3 in the bass staff. All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Down to C, D, E, E, down to C, D, C. Hands are switching. Down to C, C chord, D, E, tied note. There it is. Yeah. Very good. So that was a fantastic job working on What Can I Share? Now remember, if you're encountering a section of your song that is giving you trouble or a little bit harder to follow, do the same thing. Extract or take out that section of small measures and drill that section, right? You can drill it, you can build a cupcake, you can make some soup, you could do lasagna like I did with the kids today. Anything that you can build with the imagery in your brain, it makes it a lot easier than the idea of drawing tally marks or moving beans over or counters. It's a lot more interactive and more interesting than doing that, okay? And once you've gotten to the point where you're more comfortable with that small section that you have extracted, put it back in the phrase, right? And then see how you do playing the whole section or the whole piece, okay? Yes. Also, if you find that playing hands apart to begin a new song is a little bit more attainable to reach your goals, absolutely do that, right? Begin the week playing hands apart. Master that left hand or master that right hand. And when you've mastered it, then see if you can put the hands together, okay? Remember, not all of piano practice is going to be a one-size-fits-all, right? I, as a teacher, am extracting sections that I believe are tricky for you. But if you find that there are other spots that are just as hard, you do the same thing, right? You take it out and you work on it for yourself, okay? Fabulous. Now, we had another song, didn't we? We had on page 45, we had When the Saints Go Marching In. Now, a lot of people know this song, okay? It's a very popular song during Mardi Gras, and it is basically one of the most famous marches in the world, right? So, The beauty of this piece is that it's introducing us to another chord, right? So if you remember on Saturday, I introduced you to the F major chord, right? And that chord, primarily for this week, is in the left hand, okay? Now, if we're familiar with the chord that we had learned a few weeks back, the regular C major chord, you remember C, E, G. The beauty of the F major chord is this. All we're doing is moving we're moving our left hand thumb, finger 1, up one note to an A, and then using our finger 2 on F and C on the bottom, finger 5. That's all it is. We're moving one finger and using one different finger. Okay, so let's listen to the C major chord again. And then now let's listen to the F major chord. It's going to be doing now is implementing that new chord for the left hand into our song, okay? So starting here with page 45, When the Saints Go Marching In, I'm going to play it one time through, okay? Now remember, this one also begins with an incomplete measure. And the cool thing about the incomplete measure is that you add up the counts of the first measure and the very last measure of the entire song, and it will add up to the total counts that that are necessary in your time signature, okay? All right, so let me count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It was tricky, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of really interesting things going on in here, right? The chords, we're very lucky because the chords are living only in the left hand. So that's a good thing. So if you practice it hands apart, you can master those chords very quickly, okay? The tricky stuff comes in when we're working with the tied notes in the right hand, okay? You notice that we have whole notes tied to a quarter note, whole notes tied to a quarter note, whole notes, again, tied to another quarter note, right? So it's interesting because every time we do the math there, that's 4 beats plus 1, 4 beats plus 1, 4 beats plus 1, okay? For a total of 5 beats, right? It's really interesting to notice that. As you're working through the notes in the right hand, notice the patterns as well, okay? The first opening phrase, oh, when the saints, the same notes happen for the second phrase. Go marching in, right? And then it happens again. Oh, when the saints, but then it goes down a third. Go, down another third. Mar, now up a third. Ching, down a second. In, right? There's these little things that you notice in your practice, okay? Now, as far as parts that we want to drill, I'm looking here, and I'm really thinking that the part where it says how I want to join that number, where it ends with that F chord, that is probably the trickiest section of the entire piece. So let's drill that section. Let's see if we can play it through 3 times, okay? Starting with the third line, beat 2. Oh, no, wait. Beat 3. Beat 3 of the first measure of line 3, okay? So let's do that. Let's get into C position. I have my right hand thumb on C and my left hand thumb on G below middle C, okay? I'm going to come in on that how I want, okay? That's a right hand pickup note. I will count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. How I want to join that number. Okay, that was my first time through, okay? Yeah, it's definitely tricky there because being able to move your left hand chord up to the F chord in enough time is important, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. How I want to join that number. There it is. That was it for a second time, okay? Let's see if we can play it through one more time, okay? This will be like the cherry on top, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. How I want to join that number. There you go. So that was my third time through, okay? Remember, if there's another section that's giving you trouble, take it out, work on it, and then stick it back into the full song, okay? I know you guys can do this. It's just going to take the extra practice, okay? Now, I've worked line 3 pretty well, and I feel more confident in it. Now I'm going to go back and see if I can play the whole piece one more time. I'm not going to play the repeat, though, because it's awfully long. Okay, starting from the beginning. Let's do this, guys. C position. I'm going to count off. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You did it. You got through all of When the Saints Go Marching In, and I'm so proud of you, okay? Remember, as you're practicing, you can watch this video back as many times as you need to. You could even watch it every day and do practice along with me, okay? Whatever it's going to take to get you to play your pieces independently and with confidence, okay? Thank you so much for joining me for practice with me today. I'm happy to bring you these videos every single week so we can learn piano together, okay? All right. Well, have a lovely, lovely time this week practicing. Join me on Saturday for our next piano lesson. and give yourself a round of applause for doing such a great job so far, okay? Wonderful. I'll see you soon, all right? Take care.